Tell me when to go. Hi guys, welcome. Wait, let's wait. Hello everybody. Welcome to Canada MedLaser. Today we are going to be doing a pigment reduction treatment on our lovely model today, Janice. So we are going to be focusing on treating her chest. Janice comes from Australia where they have a lot of sun. So as you could see, there's a bit of sun damage on the chest. Now, as cute as it might look now, unfortunately in 10 years from now, that sun damage does tend to turn into age spots, to put it lightly. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using a laser technique. The way that the laser treatment works, very basically put, is laser light is attracted to pigment. What happens with each session is we pulse the laser right on the actual pigment or on the sunspot. It then basically penetrates down to the dermal layers of the skin, capturing the pigment at the root, bringing it out onto the surface, and then scabbing occurs for about 5 to 7 days after the session. Sometimes less based on the strength of the treatment. Because it is Janice's first session to do, we will be starting her off a little bit on the lighter side. As the treatment progresses, we do tend to increase the settings, causing stronger treatments. I'm going to put these goggles over your eyes. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. Are you comfortable? Yes. Perfect. Now, before we get started, we're going to quickly degrease the skin. The reason why we always need to degrease anything before treating it with laser is because laser is hot. We want to make sure that there is no oil on the skin, no dirt, anything that will basically cause any sort of complication. The skin has to be as dry and clean as possible. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to begin with the treatment. I have my settings preset on our laser machine based on Janice's skin type. Janice has been staying away from the sun for at least 2 weeks prior to the treatment, even longer, but protocol always suggests to stay away from the sun for at least 2 weeks prior to each session, stay away from the sun for at least 2 weeks after each session, and make sure not to sweat profusely for at least 48 hours after each session, because we don't want to irritate the skin. We don't want to basically cause any heat, because heat causes melanocytes to activate again. And what happens when the melanocytes activate is we develop more pigment, which is what we're trying to get rid of. All right? If anybody has questions, feel free to write. And we're going to begin with the treatment. And we're going to do 1 pulse right over here. Okay, Janice?
Yep.
How does that feel?
Fine.
Great. So we're going to cover her full chest. The trick when we're doing the first session is we never want to actually have any contact with the laser and the skin. And as the treatment progresses and her skin becomes more used to it, we can actually be able to bring the laser down and actually touch the skin. Are you okay?
Yep.
Good. So theoretically, this treatment shouldn't take any more than 10, maybe 15 minutes. Of course, if the patient needs a break at any point, that will extend the treatment by a little bit, but usually if there is any pain or heat felt during the treatment, the sensation goes away within a second after each pulse. Are you okay?
Yeah.
If I speed it up a little bit, would you be okay
Go for
with
it.
it? Give me 1 second. We're going to speed up the pulse. After this session, session is over, Janice's pigment is going to become visibly darker instantly. The idea is, like I said earlier, to bring it out onto the surface of the skin, have it scab up, and then basically fall off. So when it does get darker, it is a temporary thing. It usually will go away with less than a week. So Janice's skin reaction is very, very mild. This is a good thing. This means that for her next session, I will be able to strengthen the settings. Because it is her first session, I do not want to overlap any of the areas that I've already treated. As you guys can see, the pigment has already gotten slightly darker. Her skin is hot to the touch, so it's not something that we want to go overly aggressive with. That pretty much concludes the full treatment on the chest. We can do shoulders if you want. It's up to you. Okay. Yeah. We can do a little bit more on her shoulders. There's a little bit of sun damage and freckling right about here, so we're going to go over that area as well. Back to the basics. We're going to degrease using witch hazel. Good thing about witch hazel is it's really good at cleaning the skin, and it doesn't strip the skin of its natural oils. However, it still degreases it very nicely. It's gentle on all skin types, and it helps to rebalance the pH. So it's actually, it can be used as a less expensive alternative for toner.
Is there anywhere on the body you can't do it?
You can actually do this treatment pretty much anywhere on the body. There are no areas that I can think of where you can't treat. Good question. And we're going to start with the pulsing. Here we go. How is that feeling?
It's fine.
Good. We're just going to go over the full shoulder area. So because Janice is not really showing much of her skin reaction, I will actually be able to have contact with the laser in her skin without actually creating any sort of adverse effects. Is it feeling okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good. Do you guys see the pigment getting darker on the chest especially? I hope you do. Okay, here we go.
Janice, do you feel any pain?
No, not at all. Slight warmth, but it goes away within a second.
This treatment is considered to be slightly more painful than other procedures such as laser hair removal, but as you guys can see, it really is not that bad. Janice did not take any painkillers. We did not numb her prior to the procedure. She just came in, we wiped her down, and started lasering away. Okay, so we did one pass over all the treatment areas. That is where we're going to end the treatment. We don't want to go too aggressively once again. Sorry, Annabelle?
Is there, someone asked if there is any downtime.
So downtime usually is consisted over the course of the first 2-3 days. Once the treatment gets slightly more aggressive, then it can last up to 7 days. And by downtime, all I mean is just scabbing of the pigment. You don't by any means have to stay at home and recover. You can still go outside as long as you are using an SPF 30 or higher on a daily basis. You should be okay. Mind you, not all sunscreens are created equally. Vivi Pharma has a better version of sunscreen. It has UVA, UVB protection. You want to make sure that you are using a proper sunscreen.
Also, someone asked how many times do we need to do it?
This treatment normally takes anywhere between 3 to 5 sessions. The sessions are done every 4 weeks apart. So about 5 months is what you're looking at. And if anybody's interested, I know that a lot of clinics will offer certain treatments. They might be called IPL, they might be called skin rejuvenation, they might be called pigment reduction. keep in mind, guys, not all clinics and not all lasers are created equally. The best way to choose a clinic that's right for you is make sure that all of your technicians are fully certified in the medical aesthetics field. Make sure that the clinic itself is a Health Canada and FDA approved. Research the technology, because technology makes a huge difference. We use the Candela GentleMax Pro. This is an actual laser. The difference between a laser and other technologies is a laser offers a more monochromatic light beam, meaning it's more concentrated. It is directed at whatever it is you're trying to zap, and it does not damage any surrounding tissue. It just goes after the actual pigment in this case. Other lasers might actually damage surrounding tissue, and you get what you pay for in this industry, guys. So make sure that you're choosing a good place. Well, we're gonna log off now. Janice is feeling great. We are gonna put a little bit of sunscreen on her and some aloe vera gel right now. So if anybody's wondering what the cost of the treatment is, feel free to send us a direct message. We will be happy to help you out with your questions. Okay, so if you guys have any more questions, please DM us. We're gonna log out, and Janice is feeling great. She's looking great, and thank you all for joining. Bye.